What up, y'all? DCFAYGOGUY. We are back again. Another week goes by. The news, it just keeps happening. It just keeps dropping. It just keeps coming at us. So we're back with another episode of What's Happening Now. And I'm not entirely sure yet what I want to title this. But I know it's going to have one of two catchy-ass titles. Clickbaity, if you will. So let's dive the fuck into this. First and foremost, as always, shout outs always goes to the members for supporting the channel. And it's thanks to their continued let me try that again. I'm a little hype. Okay. It is thanks to them. The future of the channel is secure with their continued support. In case you guys are wondering, because I've been super quiet about it, the memberships did change. So they're no longer supporting giveaways. They are supporting the channel. I've been having computer issues. I realized I didn't disclose that to everybody, and I feel like I need to, just in case. Like, nobody's asked me yet about it, but I figured I would just address it before that starts to become a question. I've been having computer issues, and that is part of what has prompted like this thought of when does making YouTube have an expiration date, because the computer I have now costs a couple grand, and I was able to do that thanks to the stimulus checks that they had sent out back in 2021. So it was like this wake up reminder of like, yo, my computer has a life and it can die. And believe it or not, making YouTube videos, you don't make a shit ton of money. At least I don't. I'm not some of the other content creators, you know what I mean, that stream every other day, get massive amounts of views, that have memberships that are probably stacked way bigger than mine. Mine's tiny. I have like 10 members usually consistently, and I greatly appreciate their support. But I kind of redirected the focus of what memberships will be. And every so often I will do giveaways for everybody else. But the only ones who are going to get any kind of thank you giveaway is now going to be members. So if you've won giveaways before, if you like winning shit, $1.99 a month is what it will cost you to be a member. That goes towards like a fund for making sure when shit happens to my computer, I can get it fixed and not stress and not have to not be able to make content. So that's where memberships have been redirected. So if you want to support the channel, you want to make sure that I always making videos, then that's what you'll be helping now going forward. And the giveaways will be like 75-80% of the time members only will be part of giveaways. So if you want to be a part of that, hit the join button, link in the description. If not, it's all love either way. So shout out to the members who are here. A lot of these guys have been doing it for months, for years. They've been members, and it is a greatly appreciated. To me, it's an honor that somebody would give me $2 a month just because they enjoy me making videos. So shout out to them as always. Let's jump into the news. So I'm going over to Faygo Lovers. Some of the shit that I'm going to talk about isn't even on Faygo Lovers, but the big meat of it is, and I want to do it kind of last, maybe. I think I want to do it last because I feel like it's going to take up the big portion of what we're going to talk about here. So let's start off. Again, I'm going to kind of graze over things. It's not that it's not important to me. It's that I have a limited amount of time that I want to keep these episodes into. I don't want to make them too drawn out. So I do kind of, I'm going to graze over things. It's not me saying it's not important. It's not dope. But, a lot of this is over on Faygo Lovers. You guys can see a lot of it yourself. This, what's happening now is me kind of talking about news and giving you like my thoughts on it. This is my way of kind of touching on things going on without doing a my 2 cents or what you're thinking about video. I've kind of essentially killed those series, and I've done it for a reason. So, yeah, I'm grazing over shit, but we're gonna jump in. I've got my tabs open, and I'm gonna try to remember, because there's a few of these things that are kind of joined together. A lot of it's about Hallowicked. Obviously, this is the weekend before Hallowicked, so Hallowicked and Three-Headed Monsters Ball VIP packages are now available. What you can get in these, I was gonna say, I hope there's two separate pictures here. First, the Three-Headed Monsters Ball show, which is going down on October 30th, Devil's Night. it will set you back $150. You will get a VIP pass, a flat, a sticker pack, the Rampage album, and that is a big note there. I know a lot of people have probably been wondering, are they going to do physical copies of Rampage? There you go. There's your answer. They are. What I don't know, what they don't say, is if it will be available after. If the only way to get it is doing the VIP package, part of me wants to say no. I feel like they'll press it up for everybody. At least that's the smart thing to do, I think. But I think it's cool that they are finally getting it out there in a physical form. I myself have slowed down on physical media, but I know there's a lot of people who still fuck with physical releases. So if you've been wondering, wonder no more. There is a physical copy, and as of right now, the only way to get it is to be a VIP member of the Three-Headed Monsters Ball. I want to wonder here. Sometimes they will send you your shit. Sometimes they do not. Yeah. Oh, you see, cool, right there. Like, they're even talking to Faygo lovers about how they're not sure. See, this is why I love Faygo lovers. This is why they're my go-to source. They are the number one source, regardless of what you think. They are number one. No matter who's talking about news, they are number one. We are all number two. We all kind of collectively make up number two. Me, Humble Monk, Spread the Dead, Replicon Radio. I think they talked some news. You know, we're all the number two source. Faygo lovers is number one. Slide down here to the 30th anniversary. No. It's not the 30th anniversary. That is mislabeled. This is not the 30th anniversary. This is the 30th annual Hallowicked. Math, numbers, hard as fuck. I remember back in 2014 when they dropped the 25-year... Was it the 25? It was the 20 years. Shit, it's already been fucking 10 years. Jesus Christ. When they dropped the 10-year anniversary or collection, whatever, album, I remember then, like, me trying to do the math. I was like, wait, this isn't the 20th, this is the 19th. You have to count the first one. But when you say anniversary means 1 full year's gone by. So, like, the first year anniversary of Hallowicked was the second Hallowicked ever. Does that make sense? I know there's been confusion with this. It'll make sense when you look at it like that. This is the 30th annual. So this is the 30th year in a row they've done it. Or, you know what I mean? Like, this is the 30th time they've done the show. But when you count it by, like, 1, 2, you know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. I hope I explained it. I'm no fucking teacher. So, I'm sorry if you don't get it. Sometimes I struggle with numbers and words too, as you can tell. But yeah, the meet and greet VIP package comes with a meet and greet with ICP, a Hallowicked VIP pass, a Hallowicked 8x10 flat, Hallowicked sticker pack, Hallowicked drawstring bag, and you get to participate in the Faygo Armageddon. I feel like, and I kind of, like, leading up to this, I had this, like, thought of, like, are they going to do something for the 30th? Are they going to do another album? I feel like maybe no. I feel like maybe what they'll do is wait for the 40th to release, like, a second volume of it. Because when you look at it, there's only 10 more songs to include now, right? So, to me, it feels like maybe too soon to make another album that has a collection. Because if they do another one, I don't want it to have all of the original ones, because I feel like they have the 20th anniversary one. They don't need to have another one that has all of the first 20 years in a row. I think they need to do another one with just from 2015 on. You know, it starts with Haunted by the Devil and goes forward. That's the way I would love for them to do it. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm honestly surprised there's not something like that included. Maybe like just a compilation of some kind that has the 10 songs. That would have been pretty cool, I think, to me, because they pretty much have done something now for major significant anniversaries, right? Forgotten Freshness Volume 4, which would have been the 10-year. It came with, right? Or was that the 11th year? Fuck. See, here we go. Numbers. I feel like I need to move on. But anyway, the first Hallowicked compilation came in Forgotten Freshness 4. That was in 2005. You go to 2014, they ended up with the actual 20-year anniversary Hallowicked CD. So now that we're on this one, I feel like maybe there's something they should be doing for this, and they're not. And I'm curious why that is. I feel like I'm totally wrong on that with Forgotten Freshness, right? It should have been 2004 when they did it, but it did in 2005. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I have ideas. Sometimes they don't make sense. Sometimes they do. But yeah, Hollow Wicked VIP packages, Three-Headed Monsters Ball VIP packages are now available. I'm just going to close out of this, but then I'm going to jump. No, I'm not. I'm not going to jump. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I honestly don't really care. When it was announced that Corey Feldman dropped out of Hollow Wicked, I was like, I wasn't really excited to see him anyways. I don't want to sound like negative, but like I'm not upset that he's not going to be there. He's not the one I'm there to see. I'm obviously there to see ICP. I'm excited to see Isham. I'm excited to see Mikey Clark. You know what I mean? I'm actually excited to see Lardy B as well. But like Corey Feldman not being there is not going to make me not want to go. Like I'm still excited as fuck to go. And I'm kind of like, cool. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's one less bathroom break I'm going to have, but I'm usually pretty good about holding my bladder. But anyway, the Psychopathic Records Bashin' Pumpkins Hollow Wicked after party with Raven Black and DJ Chunk. They've really kind of announced what the after party is going to kind of entail. It's Raven Black, it's DJ Chunk, but looking at it, I kind of want to read it here real quick. Recently announced that the successful independent horror band Raven Black will be performing at the Bashing Pumpkins Hollow Wicked 2023 after party. King Zab and Maisie of Scythe Gang 666 will be official live members of Raven Black 2. So it sounds like it's just the two of them. I was honestly kind of expecting, like, sometimes when the ICP does an after party, they usually will have like their own set as well. And well, I mean, granted, think about it, like they just got done performing, so it's kind of like a lot to ask for them to go back on stage and perform another set. But if I'm not mistaken, I feel like there was one year they did that, and it was like, wasn't it an Inner City Posse thing that they did? Or was it the Intelligence of Violence? I don't remember. I honestly do not fucking remember. But, yeah, I mean, that's cool if you want to go. I honestly probably won't. I know they're doing the pre-party, and I'm not sure if these are kind of connected. I feel like when they first announced it, it was like pre-party, after-party. But this right here is just discussing more of the after party. I think the pre-party was supposed to be JCW, right? I don't remember. I've slept since then. And, you know, when it came down to Hollow Wicked, I was like, I'm thinking main event when it comes to Hollow Wicked. There's so much about to happen this week. And I'm hitting Unity Fest. I'm hitting Fright Fest. I'm hitting Hollow Wicked. I'm so fucking excited for this. So let's close out of that. The next thing that I want to talk about, and since we were just talking about Fright Fest sold out. So that building is going to be packed, St. Andrews Hall. And honestly, like, I was really excited for this. I'm just a tiny bit nervous now because I've heard things about like the venue itself having issues, and maybe those issues have been fixed. I don't know, but I remember seeing something somewhere about the floor. So I don't know. This'll be an interesting night, but I'm excited for Fright Fest. And kind of on that note, I talked about it, I believe. Pretty sure I talked about it in a previous episode. Yeah, it was the episode where my like computer was being a bitch and like froze and I couldn't like show you guys, so I had to like read my phone. That was a fun episode. But they are including a variant copy of Songs of Samhain for the Liminal Space, which just dropped. And so this is going to be kind of like the first headline I want to talk about. I've obviously listened to the album today, and I've listened to one particular song a couple of times. And that is this one right here, Merciful Fate, labeled ABK, Twisted, and Blaze Dead Homie D4L. Now, if you have not listened to this yet, if you're on the Fuck Twisted bandwagon and you're like, I'm not going to listen to it, or if you are on the Fuck Twisted bandwagon and you caught wind of this and you're just immediately like, it's bullshit. Dark Lotus is psychopathic. Dark Lotus is ICP's baby. You know, if you're on that bandwagon, and you probably already know about this, but I wanted to talk a little bit about it. I know in the past I've made videos about it. First and foremost, this song is the shit. Like, when I first listened to it, now, what I do for a living, I drive. And typically when I'm listening to music while I'm driving, I have an AirPod in, just one. And I don't always hear very well. I like replayed this song 2-3 fucking times when I was first listening to this album, because like when I first was listening to it, I was like, wait a minute, is this even new or is this old? Because it like was giving me Black Rain vibes, both Madrox and Blaze mentioned Black Rain, but then on one of the listens, and after being pointed out to me, there's actually a part where Blaze is talking about Witch Trapped in this song. So I wholeheartedly think they recorded the vocals recently, but lyrics, I feel like maybe this was a scrapped Black Rain song because of the references to Black Rain, the mentions of petals floating in the water. So this isn't labeled directly Dark Lotus, but it is definitely Dark Lotus. They mention the Lotus, they mention petals, they mention Black Rain, they mention Witch Trapped in the song. There's so many references that point to Dark Lotus. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'm at a point now where I'm not even mad. I really don't even care. One thing that I hope they do, if they do decide to go forward and do like new Dark Lotus, I really hope that they go with something different. I hope that they name it something different. And I know this whole topic is going to piss so many people off. Nobody's going to be happy, no matter what they do, no matter what you say, no matter what you feel about it. Somebody out there is going to be pissed, right? So where I'm at with it, and actually I was talking to Megs about this a little bit. Like, again, I drive, so I have so much time to just think. When I heard this song, I actually finished the album off and at a stop, got on my watch, switched it over to Black Rain because I was like, that put me in the mood to listen to Black Rain. And all these feelings about like just how much I really miss Dark Lotus, I sat and I thought and I thought and I thought, like, how can they do Dark Lotus in a way that we get a part of that, but also to where they can respect it? Because I'm still definitely on board with them. I feel like Dark Lotus is such a precious flower, right? The epicness and awesomeness of what Dark Lotus was, being ICP and Twisted and Blaze, like that is the core of what that is. And even one piece of that not there, it just doesn't feel like it's the proper Dark Lotus to me. So it's kind of like I want them to kind of reinvigorate that energy because I felt it listening to Merciful Fate. It felt very Dark Lotus-y. But, in this particular case, it didn't feel wrong because they weren't using the name Dark Lotus. They weren't singing old songs, and there was that piece missing. But, the more that I just thought about it, the Dark Lotus has kind of always been ever changing, right? It originally started off just ICP and Twisted. Then they included Blaze. And then at one point, Vampiro was part of it. At one point, I think there was even rumors that like Isham was going to be in it. Dark Lotus has changed so much and just morphed, right? Then they added Mars. Then they kicked Mars off and brought ABK in to take his place. And then ABK left Psychopathic Records. So when they did Opaque Brotherhood, they just never replaced him, making it 5 petals from that point forward. And I ended up listening to Opaque Brotherhood as well. And they kept referencing petals, like we are the 5 petals of the Lotus Cross. They just kept mentioning petals. And it kind of seared into my brain, like, how can this be a continuation of Dark Lotus without being Dark Lotus? And I think, and I hope, like, if they want to do something in this vein, if they want to do something that's Dark Lotus-y, I would like to see them call it something different. Honestly, I don't even really want them to call it Dark Lotus. Maybe you can mention Lotus somehow in it, but like the more that I just thought about petals and the fact that they threw in the 4 here for the D4L, like I would be okay. Like if they came out with a new album and they were calling themselves the 4 petals, I would be okay with that. I feel like I would be okay with that. Like, I talk to myself. Yeah, I talk to myself. I'm crazy. Like, just the more that I thought about it, like, I want something to, like, I want part of that back, but I'll never get the really true Dark Lotus back until they're all united. And we all know that's just never going to happen. Dark Lotus is dead. And I wanted to, basically at this point, I want it to stay dead, but in the same vein, like, I'm okay with it being kind of reborn, but not being the same thing. I guess that's where I'm going with this. You know what I mean? Like, To this day, Twisted has never fully brought back House of Crazies. They've done like some Sam Hain Witch Killers there for a while. Now they're doing HOK, which essentially is House of Crazies, but they've never fully brought it back. And I want them to kind of do that. It's almost like they know that they can't ever be House of Crazies again, and I don't know. I'm assuming here. This is speculation on my part. But I just feel like there's ways to bring Dark Lotus back without bringing Dark Lotus back. There's a way for it to continue with the original being respected. I feel like there's a way for them to transition and break off, and that's kind of why I'm saying like the 4 petals, because, originally there was 6, 1 petal fell off. A new petal grew and took its place, and then it fell off. And then there was only 5 petals. And then eventually that 6th petal grew back, but 2 others fell off. So that's what brings us to the 4 petals of the lotus. That's just kind of where my head's at with it right now. And I know there's so many people in the comment now. They're like, no, 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 no. If ICP is not a part of it, no. And I get that and I understand it. But that's why I'm also saying don't call it Dark Lotus. Like, if they want to bring back the energy and the essence of what Dark Lotus is, I feel like the only way to properly respect that, like, saga and to keep Dark Lotus protected and protect that flower of what it was is for it to essentially branch off and regrow into something else. I feel like that's the only way to properly do it. And obviously I don't have connections to them, like, or else I would be fucking DMing them like, yo, this is where my head's at. This is where I think you guys should go with it. Like, to me, 4 Petals seems like a really good name. It ties it to the Lotus without it being Dark Lotus. And it's a way to kind of bring that energy back without, like, in a way that they can still respect the original flower. All right, I've rambled on about this. Let's close out of this. That's where I'm at. Leave your comments down below. I'm sure everybody's fucking pissed off at me. But that's just what I've been thinking about. On to the next fucking meat and potatoes. The next Joker's card release date and Juggalo Day 2024 location revealed in the Detroit News interview. Now, I actually found this super fast. I was just scrolling through Twitter, seeing the article. I was like, yo, fuck, nobody's talking about this. I went to the Deco and Doubt Discord server, posted screenshots of what they were saying, went over to the UPC Discord server, posted screenshots of it, then went back over on Twitter and retweeted, like quoted the post and retweeted it, saying like, yo, you know what I mean? Violent J was interviewed, and he, in here, I want to scroll down straight up to this. Jay says he and Shaggy plan to record the new album in November and December and have it out bright and early in 2024, hopefully by Juggalo weekend, scheduled for mid-February in Peoria, Illinois. Which, first of all, if Juggalo Day does go down there, I'm gonna be there. That's not too far away. So that's the shit. I can finally scratch Juggalo Day off of my list of events I've never been to. So first of all, that was huge. My thoughts on this announcement immediately was like, I was excited because obviously whenever they do a new Joker card, it's like, yo, you get hype immediately. But I had to kind of put myself in check because I also know that the last 2 Joker cards that they put out, they gave us a release date and the release date came and it was pushed back. So as exciting as this is, this tells me for sure, 100%, it is on Jay's brain. Like, we talked about that a little bit when Woe came out, how it felt like they were ready to close off the Yum Yum era and focus on the next one. To me, it was like, it was telling me that Jay's ready to move on. And this just confirms the shit out of that even further. And I realized last week when I did the last episode of What's Happening Now, I talked in that about the pay-per-view for Hallowicked being one of 2 things. And I talked about one of them, but I never talked about the other one. Like, that's the joys of ADHD. I totally fucking left that blank. So in case you're like, if you were left hanging and you caught that I only gave you one of the 2 reasons, here's number 2. The number 2 reason I was going to say is, are they possibly going to reveal the next Joker card? I think it's very possible. They're doing a pay-per-view for it, so they want everyone to see it. And again, this could be their way of just trying to bring streaming back or whatever, just make a little extra income from the actual show itself, which I think is kind of cool. They're making it available for everybody. Like, I ain't mad at it. I know Monoxide was on stream recently saying that he thought it was stupid, fucked up, and whatever. I think it's really cool because now anybody who has never experienced Hollow Wicked can, even though, like, if you've never experienced Hollow Wicked, you have to. Like, seeing it on video versus being there in Detroit on Halloween night, totally different. Totally different. I would say it's more magical than going to the Gathering. And the Gathering's pretty fucking awesome. So definitely scratch that off your bucket list. But I think it's cool. It's available. It's going to be available for everybody. But I definitely feel like we are getting at least the face and possibly the name of the next Joker's card at Hollow Wicked. They're doing the pay-per-view. Jay is teasing the shit out of this album. So I feel like he absolutely has a name. I think there's a good possibility there's an image already. I think it's very super preemptive for him to say we're going to record it in November, December, and have it out bright and early in 2024. Like, literally, they announced Yum Yum in October of 2020. It was supposed to come out at Christmas. We didn't get it for a whole year. So there's no way in hell this album's coming out in early 2024. And if it does, then anybody and everybody can fucking come at me and be like, you were wrong. You were wrong. You were wrong. I will eat my fucking words. But I'm calling it right now. There's no way this Joker card is coming out in less than 6 months. There's no way in hell. Possibly maybe the Gathering, but there's no way in hell they're having it out by Juggalo Day. And if they do, if it does come out by Juggalo Day, my worry, and I really hope that it doesn't, it's going to be slapped together like fucking Woe was. And Woe was absolutely disappointing. We waited so long to get that, and it just doesn't feel cohesive. Like, I'm hoping that they don't Ouija this project and rush it out. You know, he drops 3-4 albums a year, and while I know a lot of people love it, for me, they don't hold a lot of substantial replay value to me, because I feel like they're very, like, I don't want to say lazy, because I think Ouija is talented, but they feel very, like, tossed out. To me, that's how I feel about those projects. And I don't want that for a Joker card, and I definitely don't want that for the 6th. The 6th is huge. They've got to take their time on this. I don't want it rushed out. I'm telling you now, I don't want it bright and early. Take your time. Rewrite verses if you need to. Come up with some really great concepts for the album, for the actual Joker card. That's what I want. That's what I want. Don't rush this. Please don't rush this. This is the 6th. Do it right. Please. Please. Other notable thing about it, Mikey Clark, they're saying he's going to produce it, but I've seen people say that ICP also said that about previous Joker cards. I don't remember ever seeing that. I remember them saying like they'll have Mikey Clark beats. Depending on how they're doing this, if they're going to do this in the studio with him, like they did Mighty Death Pop and Bang Pow Boom, this album will be fucking amazing. But I don't know. I just don't know. I have so many mixed feelings about this. I'm excited that it's definitely on their brain, and I'm definitely excited for the next era. You know, Yum Yum came out 2 years ago, so I think I'm okay with closing her chapter and moving forward, especially after Woe. That was a disappointment. And don't get me wrong, like the songs on there were great, but I've honestly not revisited since I reviewed it. It's just, it doesn't feel cohesive enough for my satisfaction. And it is 6 o'clock, so that means we are going to take a quick little field trip. Y'all can come with me. Low Key announced earlier today that Let's Get Violent kicks off at 6 p.m. It is now 6 p.m. Hopefully I'm not here too early for this. I feel like I'm here too early for this because this is the standard edition. Well, this is the version that's been out for a while. Yeah, I think I got here too early. Well, fuck. I was hoping to like time it just right to where I can end this video off with Let's Get Violent kicking off. But I guess I'm a little too early. I beat Loki to the punch. But yeah, I guess we'll just wrap it up then. So comment down below what you guys think about today's topics. Obviously, I'm sure people have already been in the comments at this point over the whole Dark Lotus thing. But if you're heading to Unity Fest, I'll see you there. If you're heading to Fright Fest, I'll see you there. If you're heading to Hollow Wicked, I'll see you there. And if I'm not, then I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching.